What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real reason why WWE changed the name of its show. Raw delivers record low ratings. This WWE problem is really getting out of hand. A shock name to retire John Cena. Triple H at the White House. A WWE star has no plans to retire, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. And now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at the reason behind WWE changing the name of a show. Our top story today takes a look at a major change made to an upcoming WWE show. Next Tuesday on NXT television, WWE were going to present Invasion, and this would see NXT and TNA collide in several interpromotional matches. WWE received mass criticism for using the name, particularly on October 7th, with Israeli outlet Israel Hayim calling out WWE directly. The term invasion on such a sensitive date, which directly recalls the infiltration of Hamas terrorists into southern communities and the mass killings of Israelis and Americans, raises questions about who in the organization is responsible for this preposterous decision. The criticism alone was evidently enough for WWE to change the name of the show, as on last night's NXT, it was now confirmed that the Invasion name is no more, and the show will now be known as Showdown. The name is really underwhelming, but with WWE having just 7 days to rebrand the show, this is probably the best they could have come up with. The criticism also extends to the use of the Invasion logo, as the logo had a prominent red V, and some believe that this was similar to the red downward triangle, a Hamas symbol. WWE have kept a prominent red letter in the new logo, but this time they've opted to emphasize the W in Showdown. The Invasion name was used in WWE all the way back in 2001 for the WWF vs. The Alliance storyline, and they've yet to publicly address why they've changed the name. But the kayfabe reason was offered by Santino Marella, as he explained that the TNA invasion of NXT acts as more of a showdown than an invasion, which sounds incredibly stupid. It's clear that this is an invasion. Next up, Raw delivers record low ratings. The September 22nd, 2025 edition of Raw obtained the lowest viewership since WWE debuted on the Netflix platform. According to the Wrestling Observer, the show reached 2.3 million global viewers. The Monday, September 22nd episode of WWE Raw did both a record low 2.3 million global views and 4.5 million global hours viewed through its first 7 days, according to the Netflix Weekly Tudum report. The show was a fallout episode from WrestlePalooza and featured a confrontation between WWE Champion Cody Rhodes and World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins to build up Crown Jewel, Stephanie Vaquer celebrating a WWE Women's title win, and Rhea Ripley vs. Asuka in the main event. Now obviously this isn't good news for WWE, and it's unknown what Netflix thinks of the numbers. It's worth noting that competition on Monday nights is extremely competitive, so to obtain 2.3 million viewers is still somewhat impressive, especially in today's landscape. WWE are experimenting heavily with start times for the show this month, and there's significant concern that the Raw following Crown Jewel could have a catastrophic rating due to the show airing live in Australia, as the show will be airing at 8 AM. The time difference may be too much for a lot of fans in the US to watch live, and this will naturally impact the ratings significantly. Now, the Raw product is often met with some positive reviews from fans. Is it perfect? Well, absolutely not. But compared to SmackDown, the show is probably WWE's most consistent weekly show. If this report stated that SmackDown was receiving record low ratings, it would be somewhat understandable, as the show is heavily panned on social media on a weekly basis. Raw has a ton of star power, and they have both male world champions on the show simultaneously, and the returns of CM Punk and Roman Reigns should hopefully help the show increase in viewership. Next up, ticket prices is getting out of control. The ticket prices for John Cena's final match in December have now been revealed, and the numbers have led to WWE once again being torn apart by fans. According to official figures from WWE, the ticket prices are as follows, as a fifth row of Row E, ramp side, is $6,500 per ticket. The second row of Row B on the ramp side is $9,500 per ticket, and if you want the TV side ringside package in the front row, well that's going to set you back $11,500 per ticket. They also revealed that standard seats will range from $250 to $3,000. Cena's final match is without a doubt one of the biggest matches in WWE history. However, the show is literally a Saturday night's main event special, so to charge over $11,000 is just total greed. It's still a common question on social media when it comes to why exactly this show isn't a PLE. WWE has delivered underwhelming Saturday Night Main Event specials all year, so the name value isn't currently there in 2025. WWE are just expecting fans to treat the name as if it's a serious event. It would have made a lot more sense to market the event as an established PLE or even name the event as Ruthless Aggression. But WWE evidently are under the impression that the name means very little when it comes to CENA's final match in WWE. Now, there is hope due to the show now airing on Peacock instead of NBC. The show will be treated just like a PLE, and we may get an indicator for the feel for the format on Peacock when their first special debuts next month. Still, we all know one person who's going to buy those tickets, and it's got to be Green Shirt Guy. After all, he supposedly shelled out about $100,000 for front row tickets at WrestleMania 41. Next up, a shock name to retire John Cena. As fans debate on which name should receive the honor of retiring John Cena, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry has thrown a very far-fetched idea out there. According to Henry during an interview with TMZ, Cena should wrestle and put over none other than Joe Hendry in his final match this December. If John Cena wants to give back to the business, you give it to somebody that's gonna have a career. Just like him when he came in and him and Kurt Angle went at it. Him having an initial interaction with Kurt Angle is what forged the level of where he was gonna be. You gotta give it back. You gotta give the rub. Henry would add that Cena putting Hendry over will take him to the next level in WWE. Joe called him out early and Joe is over as hell, but Joe don't have no skins on the wall. He beat Nick Nemeth and he's beaten a bunch of people at TNA and several at NXT, but that's not like beating Triple H. That's not like beating Shawn Michaels. He's gotta have something that the world is gonna say, damn, you beat John Cena on his way out? Holy shit. And to say that the reaction to this pitch on social media is negative would be a total understatement. Hendry isn't even contracted WWE talent, so why would WWE give a TNA wrestler the honor? If Henry is using the logic that Cena should put over a young star, then WWE has a number of young talents on the roster for Cena to potentially put over. Names like Dominic Mysterio, Bron Breakker, and Obafemi are all under 30, and all of these names could easily be accepted in the role of Cena's final ever opponent and even defeat Cena. Next up, The Rock denies steroid rumors. A WWE legend, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has finally responded to recent speculation that his notable weight change was linked to steroid use. Johnson, who recently appeared much leaner, saw fans and fitness commentators raise questions about whether his dramatic physique change involved PEDs. The Rock had bulked up significantly for his role as Mark Kerr in the Smashing Machine movie, but then reversed course, shedding around 60 pounds to portray an older character, the Chicken Man, in Lizard Music. And recently, a fitness influencer, Diego Fit, stirred further attention by posting on Instagram that The Rock's muscle loss must be due to stopping the cycle. But The Rock actually commented on the video and mentioned this is 100% not true. It certainly would take a lot for The Rock to actually go out of his way and comment on a video that wasn't even viral. Do you think there's any truth to this? Next up, WWE makes major change. The reputable Fightful Select have provided new behind-the-scenes scoops when it comes to how main roster call-ups are delivered. According to a new report from the outlet, main roster call-ups are now much more flexible, and there's no urgent rush to get a called-up talent away from NXT television. Across multiple regimes, WWE has handled call-ups in a variety of different ways, including just immediately pulling talent from NXT when the call-ups occurred. This was typically in the Vince McMahon era and left NXT in a tough place creatively. However, things have been way more flexible. In the past, there were certain points at which WWE knew that they were going to make those call-ups. We've been told that the way things have been handled internally over the last year or so has been significantly different. The call-ups themselves have been kept way closer to the vest and are less strict as a talent getting off of NXT television just to go to the main roster. I was noted that WWE feel it's important to have experienced names both at the WWE Performance Center and NXT television. The way Vince McMahon called up talent often led to mass backlash from fans. McMahon would call up talent to the main roster with no plans in place, and he was often keen to rip away everything that got that talent over in the first place. This was seen with names such as Karrion Kross and Keith Lee. These vast overhauls in presentation impacted their standing in the company, and there were key factors in their subsequent releases. Whilst the pacing of call-ups has been vastly improved under Triple H, there are a number of names in NXT such as Obafemi that are long overdue a call-up to either Raw or SmackDown. Next up, Triple H at the White House. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon appeared at the White House this week as US President Donald Trump signed an executive order relating to the use of AI in seeking treatments for childhood cancer. Taking to Instagram, the game reflected on the White House visit by stating, "Kids shouldn't even know what cancer is, let alone have to face it. I cannot begin to describe how proud I am of Stephanie McMahon. Her dedication to Connor's cure and tireless advocacy in the fight against pediatric cancer over the past decade has been truly inspiring." Today's executive order, which she spearheaded, marks a historic breakthrough in this incredibly important cause. The game also provided a photo to go along with the post, and in the photo is his mother-in-law, Linda McMahon, who acts as the 13th United States Secretary of Education. And finally, a WWE star has no plans to retire. Our final story today takes a look at a new interview from Jey Uso, who has revealed if he has any plans to retire anytime soon. Speaking to Sports Illustrated, the former world champion revealed that he wants to hit 20 years in WWE, meaning he has at least 4 years left before he even considers retirement. This isn't a job, it's a lifestyle. For me, this is a 16-year run. I want to hit 20, that's a big goal for me. You've seen 20 years of Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, John Cena, and all of the greats. I want to see 20 years of the Usos. Jey, along with his brother Jimmy, are without a doubt future WWE Hall of Famers, and based on how Jey's solo run has been going, Jey could be looking at multiple Hall of Fame inductions by the time he calls it a day in the ring. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.